Banter Podcast with Colin Geddis.
I'm a feminist now.
Yeah.
I can't throw, you're the opposite of a feminist. I went, nah, think about it. What do you mean? He goes, all these bitches giving us shit about having shows, fucking all boys. And I said, like, you think about what do those women do? What those bitches do for feminism? And she went, what do you mean? He goes, they just complain about it. What I do, I create females. I've created two, added in the world. I'm the king of the feminists. And then I got a thing through post the other day. Catherine, what's that? It was a t-shirt that said, destroy the patriarchy, not the planet. And I said, I'm just going to start wearing this to get
Did you buy that?
And she was like, you're fucking twisted. I'm just going to embrace it.
As you throw out like fucking 25 nappies a day.
Yeah.
Fuck the planet. You know what I mean?
But it's like, I don't know. But I just love to use the phrase bitches, and she annoys her so much. These bitches.
We'll keep all this in. Did you see... let's go. We're going. Did you see Bill Burr on Saturday Night Live?
No, but I saw
Fucking tremendous.
I saw like just the stills of it.
I could nearly. Do you want me to play you the joke?
Please.
Because he goes in really hard on like white women. You know, he's like, "How did you steal the fucking woke movement when it was supposed to be about minorities?" Are we hooked up? Hold on, got an ad for Iceland playing. Showbiz. My guest today, Davey Elliott.
Hey.
I do podcasts now, so I can chat to my friends.
There we are. This is actually the first time I've seen you since lockdown and everything.
It's wild. I mean, like, it is going to get that way where I think I heard someone else, it was probably Joe Rogan. Today's sponsor, by the way, is HP sauce. The only bit of England we'll let in this fucking country.
It. Listen, support the Tories. They're doing a great job. Boris and the lads.
Yeah.
Feed them.
Once you're done
with
fucking a trafficked kid in the basement of Parliament, you squirt this all over a sausage bap.
And nothing takes your mind off it better.
Word. Jimmy Savile would clean his dick with us.
And then I would after. It's just fucking delicious.
Wax on, wax off. Now then. Right. By the way, what I love about this is, welcome to the podcast, guys, by the way. This will be going out Tuesday, the fucking whatever, because we're pre-recording this, because there's full lockdown kicking in tonight.
It's the 20th. It'll be, that's her and Dora's birthday. So I have to remember that.
It'll be on the 20th.
Happy birthday, love.
Oh, thanks, mate queen.
This is for you. This is your gift. Oh, should be getting some of that, if you know what I mean.
A bit of that, but it's white and it's semen. When you're married, that would be like the worst birthday present of all time.
Yeah.
Do you get me anything? You're like, my cock, and they're like, I'm gonna kill myself.
And she's like, I've avoided that for the best part of the last 2 years anyway. The last thing I want on my special day. Like a day. No, I don't.
Do you ever get married and do so little riding that you're like, how did we have children?
No, I think that
you're like, wait, I can't. Was there riding at a certain point when this child came out? When did it happen?
Like, I think that
should have been journaling.
They use the riding to lure you into the marriage. I think,
of course,
like that's what goes on, and then once you're in, that's it. It's like, I don't need that anymore. So we're friends forever. That's all you need. And you're like, no, I have needs.
Yeah,
no, I have needs.
Yeah.
So
I'd rather no one be here and I'm just wanking.
Yeah.
Than you be here and it's all family friendly.
I had a mate of mine,
about the bus,
and he was being married sort of a bit before me, and he goes, I said, like, what's the crack? How are you coping with it and all? And he goes, no, it's grand. And he goes, any advice? And he goes, yeah, the thing I would say is, wank often and wank regularly. And I went, why? And he goes, because you'll not fuck. You'll never, that'll be done. It's like almost once the ring goes on, just the fanny, and that's it, not for you anymore. So, yeah. And he was right, he absolutely did. Like, we've been married now 2 years, we've got 2 kids, and if sex once, work that out.
Paddy McDonald has that joke where he's like, I've got 4 kids, so I've had sex 4 times.
That's true, And I've said to her, like, because obviously we just had a baby there a few weeks ago, and our anniversary's coming up, so I'm like, and the least sexy way of trying to insinuate anything, you're like, so, anniversary's coming up. Reckon you'll be healed? It's like, if anything, I won't be. If anything, I'll try not to be. Yeah. I just see the antibiotics. Where are they going? No, in the bin. Bollocks.
Here, you can't get your horse pregnant.
HB sauce.
I love the way you complain about it, and then it's also just me and you saying these things.
I know.
You know what I mean? If you were standing here, like, with the fucking that never-ending six-pack that goes down your cock.
I mean, I
can't believe my wife doesn't want me to fucking crush her into the fucking upholstery.
I know, fucking Pavarotti after he's dead here. It's like, you wanna? Oh no.
You napkin for your head.
You know,
There's some great photos of Pavarotti out there, like just on his holidays on a bike.
but
You know,
I think I've got a load of them just stocked. If ever I've nothing to put on social media, I'll just like stick one of Pavarotti up and pretend it's me. And
what a weird job to be like this revered like voice, but you're just a big fat Italian guy
Yeah.
who goes by one name.
yeah.
And you wheel you out of bed every once in a while, and you're like, oh, da, da. Like, what, you know, it's like, but
I
that's
mean-
your job.
Like you've never
People like, you know that version of fucking, was it Nessun Dorma? And the crowd's like,
yeah. But like you never, those guys are never doing well. Like Pavarotti's craned out of his bed on the stage. They bring the other fella out by the hand who's blind, and he's like, right, fuck's sake, come on, you insane.
what was the bit? What the fuck was I? Oh, it was
What's he even called?
it was fucking
Bocelli, isn't it?
yeah. It was Sebastian Maniscalco or whatever, talking about your man on a horse, the blind dude on a horse. What is his name? Bocelli.
Andrea Bocelli. Yeah.
What about? Have you ever seen his wife?
No, well,
Man,
neither's he.
The guy doesn't. The guy doesn't even know how hot she is. You know what I mean?
Oh dear.
Oh, why does my Google not come up? I've been on too much.
Did you see him whenever Leicester City won the Premier League?
I'll tell you what, David didn't.
No, well, Google that after YouTube. They brought him out to sing the football stadium. And again, they just brought him out by the hand. They're like, you're just singing a wee tune. He's like, where am I? I've no baldy. That's great. Tell you what, he's suave.
Oh, he's soft. Oh, well, the wife's not great. Maybe I'm thinking of another blind guy. Is there another blind singer? Stevie
Just
Wonder.
Google blind
Wonder's
singer,
house looks like he's
sexy
in a
wife.
strip club in Atlanta. Well, I mean, doing well for, you know,
Yeah.
I wonder is he like Ray Charles? He put his hand around the wrist and be like, this one's a 10. Imagine you made a fucking sketch with that, or like the guy just walks up, cups both tits, and he's just like, this is the one. Yes, I've got a sixth sense. And all I need to do is hold your tits in my mouth for 10 minutes. Hot.
But I mean, I read a thing about him that he doesn't, he's a diva as well. So he only does shows.
He's a fucking opera singer, of course.
But he just gets brought in and like literally wheeled out of a private jet onto stage. And then brought off again. Back in this jet and back to Folder, wherever the fuck he lives.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to hang about. His eyes going nuts. I don't want to hang about in any fucking changing rooms that I'm not aware of.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not making cups of tea with my finger in it, spurting my hand. The fucking Learjet. That's hurt my eyes doing it. The Learjet pulls up to the back of the SSE. The hatch opens. So much. Go on, hang on, Jay. Oh, they get in there to fuck her. Ah! My granny's paid fucking 150 quid a ticket to sit there.
And I bet you he doesn't speak either. So he gets back in the jet and he's just like, don't any mail there.
Yeah, he's put me on like when they're not allowed to talk because they're singing.
He's all he eats is fisherman's friend. Fuck off.
Just sits there like fucking. There's a fucking same guy works in the office. There's a TV on the back at seat there, Andre. Wanna watch anything? And he just like, I just watch Friends, start to finish on a loop. Once they get to the end, I go back to the start. How you doing? I know.
Oh, so disrespectful.
I know. He just pointed the wrong way.
And then the only other one I can think of. There's a TV there. He's like,
He just pointed at the toilets on the Learjet.
very good. Oh dear. And then the only other one I know is Paul Potts, and he's another.
He's not even blind, but the eyes are doing work.
Oh.
I mean, if you
Poor
watch
Andrew.
Paul Potts' initial audition for whatever show it was,
Yeah.
breathtaking.
No, but they always do that. They
Do
always
you reckon
bring
real? You know the way you would see like a comedian on Britain's Got Talent, and you're like, right, this would a dick in a real
Yeah.
club. Is there real opera singers see Paul Potts and be like, what a load of karaoke shite this is?
He's Britain's Got Talent on. Andre is like, he's shite. Turn off, shite.
Yeah, what the shite? And yeah, I mean, you can't even write your own songs.
No.
You know, let me blast out fucking Nessun Dormas.
Yeah, like Donatello or one of those old Italian boys did it, didn't they?
I have no idea.
I mean, that'd be great. To, like, imagine they're hyping a video on Bocelli's new shit. And Cardi B.
Her nipples are like his eyes. It's fucking askew.
I mean, that'd be a great edit. You've got a pastel background, like bright colours, his eyes, and then her tits are on his eyes.
Trying to follow him.
Great.
Like a chameleon. Just...
Oh, goodness me. Oh, Bill Burr anyway, sorry. How did we even get on to that? Oh.
This motherfucker blind! Oh, I had to walk out with a mask on.
Yeah.
Pathetic.
I love how they space out the crowd, just a wee lump of people at the front, and then everyone squeezed in.
Sounds awful, isn't it?
It's been a lifelong dream of mine to come here and host Saturday Night Live, so thank you so much for coming out.
SNL, worst crowd going, like.
During these difficult times, you guys all look like surgeons with your masks on. Makes me feel comfortable that you're wearing masks. I like people who wear masks. That's good. You're listening to the eggheads, the people we all cheated off of in high school, right? Keep listening to them. And then if you don't wear a mask, that doesn't bug me either, right? Take out your grandparents, you know? Take out your weak cousin with the asthma. I don't care. It's your decision. There's too many people. It's a dream come true. If you're that dumb...
Listen to the laugh.
and you want to
It's just an audience of
family
Bocelli's.
members, by all means, do it. Stops you from reproducing. It's literally a dream come true. And speaking of dreams come true, did you see Rick Moranis got sucker punched on the Upper West Side? New York is back, baby! New York is back! Yes!
I heard someone else break. It was Andrew Schultz breaking this down. He's like, it's brilliant the way he like says a thing, and they're like, and then he brings them back, and then he makes it feel safe, and then he's like, fuck white women, and they're like, and then it's like, like it's just up and down the whole time.
We lost our edge there for a minute. City started looking like a giant Bed Bath & Beyond, and then bam! Oh, Ricky took one in the chops.
I get to this.
It had to happen. People can walk safely 40 blocks away. I don't know. I'll probably get canceled for doing that joke, you know? How stupid is that cancel thing? They're literally running out of people to cancel. They're going after dead people now. They're trying to cancel John Wayne. It's like, yeah, dude, God did that 40 years ago. They're all up in arms. They're like, did you hear what he said in that interview in Playboy in 1970? Can you believe that? It's like, yeah, he was born in 1907. That's what these people sounded like. You never talked to your grandparents and brought up the wrong subject.
Is there any other Netflix specials you want to watch just while we're recording this? Where's the bit where he bashes women? The bit where we waiting around for?
No, this is a bit I'm waiting on.
Over the last few years, I got to tell you, the way white women somehow hijack the woke movement, generals around the world should be analyzing this. Just to refresh your memory, the woke movement was supposed to be about people of color, not getting opportunities, the at-bats that they deserved, finally making that happen. And it was about that for about 8 seconds. And then somehow, white women swung their Gucci-booted feet over the fence of oppression and stuck themselves at the front of the line. I don't know how they did it.
That crowd is dead.
I've never heard so much complaining in my life from white women. My life is so hard. With my SUV and my heated seats. You have no idea what it's like to be me. Trash and white guys. The nerve. Where's the camera? The nerve of you white women. Listen, I don't want to speak ill of my bitches here. Okay? I don't. Well, let's go back in history here. Okay? You guys stood by us toxic white males through centuries of our crimes against humanity. You rolled around in the blood money. And occasionally, when you wanted to sneak off and hook up with a black dude, if you got caught, you said it wasn't consensual. Yeah, that's what you did. That's what you did. So why don't you shut up, sit down next to me, and take your talking to?
Dead crowd. And then they start clapping. Yeah. Like, that's how bad they are over there, where they're like, you know, you say something that's like pretty much true, you know, and people are like, yeah, should I be laughing at this? And you're like, it happened.
Do you ever see things like the people put on social media and sometimes go, fuck up? Like, you just see it
day
a
of my
bit and
life.
just go, oh, fuck up.
Every
Like
day.
today, I saw, obviously the fella who, he was being a wee bit of a chancer and like fucking around Belfast stabbing people the other night. You know him?
You know what I mean? It's tough times for everybody, and you gotta, you can't blame people for stabbing.
No, but someone put a thing up saying, why are you telling women to be safe at night, not telling men to go around stop stabbing people?
Yeah.
Because like women can be safe, but there's still fucking wingnuts out there that'll be like, I'm still stabbing. Like I'm gonna keep stabbing.
Yeah,
no matter
I've
what.
talked about this before. Where people are like, I'd see a lot of clips online where a girl would be like in a guy's face, you fucking whatever, da da da, and then he fucking, it actually, there's footage from Belfast of these girls outside like a pub. I don't know what pub it was, like Kelly Sellers. I don't know what the fuck it was. Kelly Sellers, something.
Yeah.
They make that up. Did you ever say something? You're like,
Yeah.
is that what it's called?
Kelly Sellers, yeah. Or I just getting confused with White's Tavern with the Kelly Sellers.
Yeah,
It's
White's
wee-
the other one.
The wee
But they
old
were-
one.
Yeah, they were fucking, these girls were like outside fighting and whatever, and they're fucking throwing shoes and swinging digs and throwing glasses and all, and the guy just fucking pushed the girl and shut
Yeah.
the door.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, hey, absolutely no call for that.
Yeah.
And you're like, at a certain point, see this like, oh, you should never hit a woman thing. It's like, you shouldn't hit anybody.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't hit a woman, but also you're not physically in the moment protected by that rule.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah. But it's like
you're
could-
protected by the law after
Yeah.
it, you know what I mean? But in the moment, you gotta preserve yourself a little bit because
Yeah.
someone will snap and smack you
But
if
like-
you're acting the cunt.
But that's the thing too. People don't have. It's just one action they'll judge everything on, whereas they won't be like, well, to be fair, that led to a point. There was something that.
Well, yeah, but
got
that's because
to
you're a
that.
victim blamer.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's true. But I am, and I admit that I'm a victim blamer and I'm a feminist too.
You'll see someone
Whoa,
get
an
smacked and you'll be
oxymoron.
like, but what did she say?
Yeah, but we don't know. We need the full fact. I'm just an assessor. I like Bocelli, but I can see, and I just want
Yeah.
to see all the facts before I judge.
He's the daredevil of songs.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, that fella was scooting about on his bike, just stabbing people for the crack. I mean, it is lockdown. He's probably bored. He's trying to just get it out of him before he's locked in the house for a few months.
Yeah.
But there are still mental people like that out doing that. So I think at the same time, if you can take precautions to not be stabbed, probably do it.
Yeah, it's a bit like, you're like, maybe guys, could you not let your fucking children roam the streets?
Yeah.
at 2 a.m. because there's bad people out there. And like, could you maybe not just tell pedophiles not to exist? And you're like,
exactly.
yeah, we're working on that, but also
Yeah.
try not. Don't leave it up to chance. You
Yes,
know what I mean?
yes.
Maybe just bring your kids inside.
The dangerous places. That the world is a terrible place. You know yourself as a
Yeah.
parent. You're fucking. I'm terrified leave my front door open. I do it every day and hope that they'll leave. But I still. But
Having a child is just avoiding death all day. Or we
trying to
went down
tire them
to
out to go to bed.
we
that's
went
all.
down to we went down to the granny's house there, and she has a wee seat that goes on the adult
Yeah.
seat, straps on, and their table isn't like this.
Yeah.
Where there's nothing under it. It's got a wee ledge underneath, and he's eating his fucking whatever, and he's puts his feet on it, and everyone's eating away. Everyone's right beside him, and he kicks himself, bang, right
Yeah.
on the floor, and he's attached to it,
Yeah.
and it hits the floor, and you're like, we were all sitting around responsibly with
Yeah.
the baby, and he could have killed himself there.
Yes.
The world is dangerous.
Yes.
Luckily, his head hit the fucking back of the chair, but
But I think what I think it is just people have such an idealistic view of everything, not realizing the place is full of fucking psychos and weirdos and arseholes. So you
Yeah.
can be a bit precautionary,
and
at the odd time.
it does you no harm to witness some sort of violence
Yeah.
at some point, because some people have no idea of what's going on.
Yeah.
I've seen plenty of fucking people getting their head kicked in, or fights, or things going wrong, and you're like, you just swerve it completely.
Yeah, like when I was a kid, I started working in B&Q, right? And I just you've what you're taught or what you think should be right, and then you end up in an actual working environment with somebody from a different part of the world, don't you? And he just says some things, you oh whoa, but you just go, that's the way people are, you know. Rather than be like, excuse me, Derek, would you mind toning that down a bit and not speaking about your wife like that?
Yeah.
And he'd be like, wonder if you just fuck up, you're queer. And you're like, oh, Derek, please.
I always wondered about B&Q,
Yeah.
like if you just walked in unarmed and just went down and got one of those like fucking, it's like a hooked fucking blade thing for
Yeah.
cutting branches, and just walked
Yeah.
on and decapitated someone.
Well, I mean, you could do it.
You could
know.
do it, yeah. There's a lot of weapons just lying out.
But
Like they lock up razors in Tesco's.
Yeah.
And then B&Q, you could fucking hit
Nah.
someone with a sledgehammer in the
with
face.
a fucking hoe. It's great. But
A man in B&Q has hoed a woman to death.
what was great in B&Q one time, because I've always been, believe it or not, Colin, this might be a shocker for you, a large man, right? So even when I was there at 16, I was not trained in anything in particular, but anytime there was an issue or a bad boy, they're like, can you try and keep him locked in that room or
Can
something?
you sit in this guy till...
So there was a fella who, I mean, you don't want to stereotype people here, but he was a smick, right? The smick fella, and he wanted to buy...
Just like to point out that was Dave Elliott.
yeah,
said that,
I point
not
out,
me.
and he wanted to buy... but again, you're looking at him going, why do you want to buy a bathroom suite, mate? You know, it's odd from you. And he goes, oh, you fuck's sake, bro, I just thought I'd take myself out of the house for a few hours, you know? And he comes in and like, again, the people are like looking at him a bit dodgy, like seen this guy before, opening up, and he just had all the power tools in the box with the bath. And he's like, oh, I don't know how I got in there, mate. And they were like, no, we need to arrest you for the police.
Yeah.
So brought him in this room. He kicked off, obviously, a little bit, because that's the sort of him. They brought him in this room, and they're going to me, can you just stand against the door? And I was like, what do you mean? We're keeping him in there. And I said, but can you guys not do it? Security? Like, nah, you're bigger, you do it. So I just stand against the door, this Mick's trying to fucking batter through the door. And I was like, I'm sorry, mate, I just told to do this. And then the police came.
I'm sure you do get that sort of big man profiling.
Yeah.
I get it too.
Yeah.
I fucking... See, if I've been numerous occasions in my life just walking into a premises and I've opened the door. I'm like, go on ahead, let someone through. And then like the next person, and then they're like, oh, they think I work here.
Yeah.
They think I work the doors at this hotel,
Yeah.
and I'm just letting fucking 17 people through the door.
Yeah.
Go on ahead, love.
No,
You know, you're
that's
in a
it.
suit because you're at a wedding. Go ahead, that's it, go ahead.
Or I
There you
get
go,
this-
enjoy yourselves.
I had me in Knott's Bakery with old people, and eventually you go, right, fuck's sake, granny, go away. Here, stand at the door, and you let one in. You go on ahead there, and then they all fucking, where are all these grannies
Good
come
now
from?
with COVID, you open the door
Yeah.
for yourself and you fucking slam it behind you. Like, fucking open
Yeah.
yourself.
Just
Darcy,
bring your
I'll
mask
come.
down, go, ugh. And then they're like, and die. It's great. And then you get the nick of pasty as well. So it's win-win.
Nick, I can't even. I had a fucking one of the worst decisions of my life. I was going back. Yeah, I was going down the road, and it was actually Maureen's granny's funeral, right? Granny's maybe.
Granny's funeral.
Granny's, yeah.
Oh,
a few years ago.
No, see, when you said, I thought you meant Maureen's granny's funeral. I was like, that's impressive.
Doing well.
Yeah.
No, it was your granny's funeral or something, and I was like, I'm starving. Went in the Apple Greens. I was like, I'll just grab one of these Greg's things here and got like some sort of pasty that basically just had cheese. I got me sick thinking about it, like cheese and onion in it or something. Maybe it wasn't a pasty. It was one
A
of those.
slice?
Aye.
Yeah.
At that, violently ill. Broken. Shot my brains out. Missed the funeral.
And what was your excuse? Did you say, I'm unwell?
I just was like, well, I had a pasty of sorts from Greg's that had just been bubbling under the heat lamp for
Yeah.
fucking 12 hours. And it gives me diarrhea.
I mean, you could wheel you out and you could sit in the front row and just try not shit yourself.
Point me in the wrong direction. Is it my turn to sing? Could you fake? What's stopping you faking a opera career?
I don't know. Well,
Do you know
being
what I mean?
able
Like-
to move is a problem. If you can freely move, you're grand.
Like if you could watch like a couple of videos there and just fucking, would you know the difference now? You're musically trained. Like what's stopping him actually going like, "Rah!" And then me just learning that for a couple of days and being like, "Rah!" Apart from the fact that was absolutely tone deaf and gross. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I mean, I definitely reckon I could. If anybody could fake an appearance, I get a suit on, just wear sunglasses. Someone can't drive me around by the hand. Oh, this is the
Get
great.
you out of, you're talking about buying a smart car. They open the smart car door and you just squeak out of it.
This is the great Davizio Elliott about to sing for you. You know what? That's the thing to do. Fake having
David
a disability,
Elliott.
and you get in anywhere, no one will question it. Oh, this guy, he's disabled, and you're like, oh, what's he do? He's a tenor. And you go like, didn't ask how much to get him, but and you just go, and then you sing and just never do it. And I'm like, I reckon you get some free shit.
Probably. I mean, you'd be an absolute piece of shit if you were faking that you were disabled. I mean, plenty of people do it in the farm. Do you not know some of those people in your previous job?
Yeah. Oh, I know someone.
Guys on fucking $4,000 a month, but pretending he has a limp.
There was one fella who worked with me who, like, I was sort of training at the time, and he brought me out to this fella, and he goes to him, like, he was talking about his benefits or whatever, and this guy was like, oh, the fucking damn give me a DLA of bastards and all, and he was like, oh, okay, do you have your at least your proof that you're applying for it. And he goes, oh, like 2 seconds, and no doubt, no joke, he bounced out of his seat and like ran up the stairs and came down and for me. He goes, there it is. And he looked at it, he goes, says you can't walk, you bounded up those stairs like a mountain goat. And the guy's like, you're at it too, you bastard. And he's like, well, to be fair, you fully did. Like, and it was impressive. It was like very loose Achilles, straight up the stairs, no problem. Lighting his feet, and the big man's trying to say he can't walk. Needed disabled space.
Cheeky bastard.
Yeah.
Plenty of those people in there.
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Is it a real thing where people will like legit squirt out a baby just for more benefits?
I mean, I'm not my experience, but I would say there's people out there. There was a woman who was
just a couple of privileged white guys shitting on
I know
the lower classes.
But I mean, listen, this particular woman,
you go back to your mansion and Bangor.
She was. I mean, that's the thing. Like, see, coming here to leave the house, leave the kingdom of North Down. I feel like, you know, Michael Collins, not the politician, the astronaut.
Yeah.
He's like, he drives him up the moon. He's like, nah, I'm not getting out there. It's fucking dangerous out there for me. You lads will go ahead. I'll stay here.
It can be ours that stayed on, to be honest.
But there was a girl who was, I think she was 38, and like she was at a community meeting and having banter about being pregnant, and she was like, I'm expecting twins in a couple of weeks. And I'm like, all right, okay. And then she's like, this is fucking 11 and 12. And I was like, and you're 38? I was trying to, you know, like Rain Man, working out the mass in my head. When did you start?
Even a straight 12 years earlier is like...
it's unbelievable. But she's hooked up. Like, she's got council houses on council houses with walls knocked in. And then I sort of saying to who has the other house? Oh, it's my eldest. She looks after the younger ones. So like, she's a kid, gives it to the younger, they look after it.
So she's scoring out staff.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll tell you what though, the woman doesn't need staff because she did the community, like the food and tea, and she got, you know, a massive pot of tea, and it's like no other person than a granny knows how to do that without you know, and she was skilled.
Yeah,
like, so.
I mean, you couldn't get it off the floor, but she's like,
yeah, easy. Not a problem at all.
Burning her skin.
12 spouts for her. I mean, it wouldn't be the first time she'd handed 12 spouts.
12 children, 12 different spouts, don't worry about it.
Be fair, it was like a flipping Oxfam advert or house. You're like, where'd all these kids come from?
You've got the full colour scheme here.
It's like, I'm like Angelina Jolie without having to adopt. And I was like, fair play to you. You enjoy Thompson's, clearly.
Your 12th kid, I mean, does it just fucking walk out? What happens?
Yeah, I mean, you'd imagine so. It'd be like an alien. She just bursts. The child's like, all right, ma. Well,
Jesus Christ. I mean, I can't even think of the stress of being, you know, one of those guys who are like, oh, I've got fucking 3 ex-wives and fucking 6 kids.
Yeah.
Imagine just the admin of like, whose fucking house am I at today? You know, like,
yeah.
Am I picking you up today?
I know, we're always with a Bluetooth headset on. Where am I going now? Like,
trading each other off. You go to fucking Kentucky's for dinner. No, I took you, not you fucking agent, you fucking.
No, and you're what intolerant, you fucking bollock, you're giving you Trump.
It's fucking peanuts in a rasher. Fuck all here. Not you, love, not you. I like you. You're my current family.
I know, but there must be. I mean, that's a hassle. Like, I mean, I struggle enough with the one with the 2 kids that I humour mine.
Unless it keeps you,
you know,
unless it keeps you fresh. You know, you get to work with different people every day.
Yeah. Imagine that's the way you spun it. You know,
I just like meeting people and fucking them and getting them pregnant, and you know, I get to mix it up on a daily basis. You know.
Yeah, I mean, but afterwards it is a bit of an inconvenience, but at the time it's fun. You know?
It's just about 18 years worth of crack.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's
definitely not 18 years anymore, is it?
No.
Always say that 18 years commitment. It's like the cunt's in your house when he's finished his degree.
I mean, you know, you could probably, if you really wanted, just stick him with for adoption. If you're like, that's not for me. Nah, it's not for me. There you go. You know, go for it.
It's
like, I mean, my oldest is coming 3, and she's grand. I can cope with her. The youngest, the jury's out on her. I need to give her a bit of time to see, you know, if
she's on probation.
Yeah, she's on probation, and we'll see whether we stick her back or not. Right back you in there.
It's funny how, like, you know, it's not the norm over here, but like places like America, and when people have a bit of money, it's people are like, oh, you absolutely get you get staff, and you get. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's mornings I've been lying, you know, the baby's kicked off at fucking 6 o'clock, and you take him in the bed, you know, when he falls asleep again, and you're absolutely wrecked, and he wakes up, and you're like, if a nice Filipino lady came in, and relieved me of this not relieved me.
And then took a check.
If she wanked me off her feet and then took the baby. No, if
you both nurse the baby.
What do you like for omelette for breakfast? But
and then you do
Scorcoloni. But you just find I was gonna say, yeah, if you were just lying there wrecked and someone just came in, you're like, I take the baby now, and you just hand them the baby, you're like, good woman, we'll see it fucking 11:30.
Oh no, because that like we sort of try to do that at the minute, and like you will do the night feed, try and do one each. Because to be fair, the new baby, she only wakes twice at the minute, so she'll wake about 2 and then she'll wake about 5. And if whoever does the first feed doesn't do the second, and then normally I would get up with her at about 6 or whatever and say, just you lie on. In my head, I'm like, just you lie on till about 8. And then at 8, come down, relieve me. So when it gets to about 11:15, I'm like, right, now it's time. Get downstairs, please. Because you've got, like yesterday, I had the wee one just wouldn't shut up. She's constantly. And then the 2-year-old just stand on the sofa bouncing, screaming, Daddy, Daddy. Like, shut up. She's quiet.
I think what works for us is you both got to get up. Even though it's tempting just to be like, although I haven't done it in a while. Now that I think about it, I haven't lay on for a minute. But like, you gotta both get up, get everything sorted. Then you can be like, he's gonna need a nap. Do you want to go for another sleep or something?
Yeah.
Usually you're both fine at that point. But like, you see that sort of like, I'm gonna fucking lie here to 12 o'clock and then take it. That's a nightmare.
No, like my wife, she has done this thing from to be fair, from I've met her. Where she's like, listen, Dave, I'm just not a morning person. All right, so don't speak to me until I've had my lunch.
Now, why can a woman get away with that?
I don't know.
When can a fella just set rules and just be like, here, I'm fucking playing PlayStation. I'm just one of them guys.
Because then she'll just be like, no, you're fucking not. Whereas if you do that, she go, what'd you say to me? Yeah, that's not worth it. It's too much. Because I find that
and this is this patriarchy we're talking about.
Listen. But
oppressing women.
But my wife, I admit, hands up, is the boss, and for an easy life, I'll just say, like we had an argument the other week. She asked me what I wanted to do for lunch, and I told her, I was like, why don't we go here? And she goes, nah.
That's how most murders happen.
Yeah, she goes, nah, let's just, no. She goes, well, where would you like to go for lunch? And I went, same place I just told you I want to go for lunch. She goes, no, just pick somewhere. I'm going, I just did. And then she went, you're so fucking indecisive. Well, just go home and have it at home. And I went, again, still same place. Same we're doing decorating in the house. She was like, what colour would you have that wall? And I go,
I don't start with the decorating.
Probably I think like a sort of sea green, like a dark green, that'd be nice. She goes, nah, it wouldn't work on the wall. I went, all right, what colour do you want to paint it? And she goes, more of a blue. And I went, all right, do that. She goes, why do you never get involved with things?
Yeah.
I'm like, I just did. I just told you. And you just went, nah.
Get into a fight with me so that I feel like I've won.
Yeah, sometimes I think, because we don't generally argue about it, and sometimes she'll come like 3 months with no arguments, and she'll be like, you know what? And I'll go, what? And she'll go, didn't like the way you set your trainers in the bedroom. And I'm like, well, I just didn't. And she go, no, it really fucking annoys you. Could have just put them away, you lazy bastard. And then starts getting in the and you're fucking bald and fat. And I'm like, where's this coming from? And then
there's always something thrown in top of it.
It's like, see, you never put your trainers away and you're a fat cunt. What?
Yeah, it's always thrown in at the side too.
Might even wear trainers. You're fucking supposed to exercise and you have fat pig. And you're like, oh, sorry about that. And I'm like, why did we fall out early? And she was like, I just don't think we had an argument in a while, so just thought we needed to do it. And you're like, all right, okay. But hey, get married, kids.
Yeah, the decoration thing is a nightmare. I routinely tell Maureen she has no taste at all. And the other day we were sitting looking at like 5 samples in the wall, and she's like, but the names of paint, you know what I mean? She's like, this one's fucking duck nips, and this one's Joanne, and this one's, elephant breath or something. And you're like, well, what one do you want? And I'm like, they're all white, so whatever fucking one you. By the way, see when girls do that thing where they're like, this would look different, or this wouldn't work on this wall, and see when you paint a room fresh with anything, it looks better.
Yes.
You could paint it with human shit, and if it was nicely painted on, it would be a nice change.
Yeah, but I think
I picked the wrong color for this wall. I think, right? I went black and red and wanted like an army green. It's not as much as I wanted to be green, but you know what? Who gives a fuck?
Yeah, it looks like what a vase would be.
Yeah, but you wouldn't walk in and go, ugh.
No,
that ruins the feng shui up in this bitch.
No, but I mean, when I will step up and have an opinion is if something revolves around comfort. So if we're getting a sofa, I'll be like, nah, this is for me. Get it any color you want. But if it goes, I'm all about it. And in the bed, she's like, well, let's go and try beds. I think it's good. So I've got a bed now. She said, I need a bed. Which is, I mean, it's bad now with a second kid. Doesn't fill me full of hope of activities in the bed going forward. It's like, we need a bigger bed. And why? She goes, I just don't like the idea you touch me in the bed. So at least if you're over there, I'm over here. And I was like, that's sweet. As long as it's big and comfortable and I can't break it. Because every bed I've had, I've broke. And not through, anything exciting. Just through merely sitting on and just falls through.
Yeah. Those beds are the fucking... the wee sticks in them.
Yes. Oh, slats. Oh, true story.
Many times at fucking 3 a.m, I've had the weight of a mattress on the back of my head trying to click them back in, sweating.
No, when I was a younger man, in a house, I was going out with a young lady, not my wife. So again, don't know how much I should tell this story, but let's just say we were getting involved in the trysts of passion, and I thought, like, let's just jump in the bed. It was like the WWE. The bed collapsed like that table, all the slats, and we're just lying on the ground. All you can hear is JR. Oh my god! And just like
you hit her with a chair.
It was like a spine buster through the whole bed. Everything just.
What you want is it to break evenly, and you're just like, well, we're in the floor now. So there we are.
It was like taking Commun in there. Like, do me rightly, and she's like, but I wonder you fucking water. But yeah, so ever at that.
Do you never say that to your current wife? You're like, listen, this old bitch let me fucking powerbomb her through a bed. And you're like, don't touch me.
But then I see after that.
I do. You should see. You're like, I definitely won't touch it if I fucking sleep in a different flat.
And she's like, well, in time, because that was a problem too. Whenever the new baby came, we had to move the spare bed into baby number 1's room, and now she sleeps in that bed, so I have no spare bed. So anytime I snore, I just have to go and sit under the stairs, just trying to get it. It's like, just you go there, don't make a noise, because then it's like a ripple effect. If you wake me, you might wake a baby, and you might wake her too. So I just say sit under the stairs and cry. But whenever after that bed incident, I was like, right, I need to get a better bed. So I got a better bed, and then I was doing washing again, smashed the patriarchy. I was putting my washing in the bed, and I knelt on it with my knee, and the bed just went.
Oh, you don't put the weight down through the knee?
No, so that was a problem.
If you know anything about jiu-jitsu.
So then after that went to
all beverages down here.
So I mean, hooked up, but I went to another bed store, and I had specific requirements. You know, I went in like it was like ordering a very high class.
You go in a pair of pants and knee pads and high boots, like. What do you call that? Fucking deal? What's this?
Deal Brian.
In the fucking door store.
But I went into the guy. I was like, right.
No beds in the door store.
Again, I don't know why I was doing it. Like I was trying to buy drugs off him. I was like, right, I need a very specific batch here, right? And he's like, what do you need? Big, thick mattress, but the base, I need it to be strong. And he was like, well, how strong? And I went to him, if the mood takes me, I want to be able to bounce in my bed. Yeah. And then he goes, quick as like, just an old salesman, he goes, they're not fucking made of titanium. And I was like, cheeky bastard. And I go, well, get me the closest to titanium you can get. And believe it or not, I broke it too, through the knee, you know, done. I mean, actually a people's elbow took that bit out.
Do you know what I would love if I was a single? I mean, do you ever see Wayne's World? I'm sure you have.
Yes.
Do you know when he's with Cassandra and they're all frolicking in that like studio apartment?
Yeah.
That's where I want to live. Big open fucking.
Yeah.
You know, you like your bed's over here. It's all one floor. Things over here. And get one of those like futon jobs on the bed. Yeah. I'd love that.
That'd be nice. Like
my ideal bed's like a dog bed essentially. Just like solid floor under it and a pile of softer duvet type things. Yeah. That's my ideal bed.
No, I like just good comfort. You know, anything I can just get. That's me. And there's a thing. I have a dream chair that I've seen. I was out shopping. I was brought out and told you, I'm designing the house and you can just sit there and agree. You can pay for it. All right, cheers.
Be in tow with a credit card.
Yeah, so I was there in this chair, and do you ever just have something happen? You go, this is my goal in life now. This seat. You sat on, had a really nice metal button at the side, and it was almost like, ooh, very secure. And I said, when I have enough money and I'm happy, this is all I want in life, this chair. And I need to find a name of it because it's fucking great. And
where was it?
It was in Warden's in Ards, of all places. So, but it was just very smooth. And again, like we were saying, Dave proof. So anything that's being bought has to be Dave proof. So we bought a bench for front of the house, had to be Dave proof. You know, like a full fucking redwood tree just carved in so it doesn't break. So I said, I guess it's Dave proof. I can't do it. It's not going to break. So like anything has about a year lifespan on me, and if I just sit on it, it'll just break. Yeah. So
think of how your knees feel.
I know. I sometimes worry about them.
Like if furniture's given out, you're like, these ankles don't have long.
Yeah. No, but our ankles just go anyway. I'll be
do walking. They just roll over on them?
All the time, yeah.
I'm feeling good at the minute. I had a weak glute. I went to the physio and the guy's like, you've half a lazy arse. And I was like, are you joking me? And he gave me all these exercises and then none of them worked, but then I figured out myself how to activate my glute, and it fixed my back, and I'm like fucking Shakira, like fucking dancing about, like feeling great.
But it's mad, isn't it, how something you just don't know what it can be, and something so innocuous seemingly that's what your back's problem is.
Yeah.
You know, because I had a problem with what I thought was my back, and then it was like went to the dentist, and like I had a bit of a problem with your tooth, and it was causing a nerve issue, which was then all right, so then the tooth sorted and it's grand.
Really?
Yeah.
It was going down your back?
Like, and I had a real bad like having headaches, and I thought, you know, again, not to be dramatic, but I'm just having constant strokes here.
Yeah.
And what had happened was I had a filling in whenever I was a kid, and it's just the tooth's basically a shell. So then I crunched down on it, and there was so much pressure in it that whenever the tooth broke, it just relieved all pressure in my head, and then took a tooth out and I'm sweet. You know?
Well, there you go, kids.
So see these gap teeth, it's just a plate. So it's sweet. So whenever I'm
I picked these.
yeah. This is your choice. It's actually a normal sized teeth in my big fucking coupon, like it just all spread.
If you got them pushed together, it'd be like wee tiny teeth.
Oh, they look like milk teeth, these babies, but I used to look like Shrek with these.
It's
Fiona.
funny you don't notice someone's anything till you bring it up. And
Yeah.
they're like,
I know, but you know what's weird too? You don't notice things about yourself until like your wife will tell you stuff. You know, you'll be chatting away and she'll be like, oh, you can see your bald spot in the gap in your teeth, and a wee crook in your eye, and see your ears. Wow, those lobes are awful long. I'm like, fucking hell.
are you allowed to shave your head yet?
I'm going to be starting that. I feel my face is still a bit too fat, so I want to lose a bit of weight off the face and then get the hair off.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, you got to have some fun.
Are you? And that's the other thing. Since we're on the Dadcast, you know, husband lifestyle.
Yeah.
Shout out to the patriarchy. Mm-hmm. You can't say anything to your wife, like.
No.
I've said to Maureen, there is something, you know, like she's eating something. I'm
Yeah.
like, there's a bit of thing in your face. She's
Yeah.
like, don't tell me there's
Yeah.
stuff on my face. And you're like, I just walk around with half a fucking Caesar salad
Yeah.
hanging off your face then.
But do you ever get it too? Or like, Catherine will say to me, she'll be like,
Mind your own fucking face, shut cunt.
she'll go like, she'll come down wearing something to go out in that she already doesn't like, you know? So she'll be like, what do you think of this? And then you'll go, oh, it's nice. And she'll go, no, it's not. You don't mean that. I'm like, I just said it's nice. She goes, no, why you always fuck like this to me and leave?
The only time I do step in is if Maureen wears the wrong shoes.
Yeah.
Like she'll walk in, I go, nope,
Leave.
nope. And she'll be like, what? These are nice. And I'm like, no, they're fucking not. They're not as nice as, and I'll buy more. Like I'll look at shoes and go, they're nice. And I'll look for my size and they won't
Yeah.
have them. And then I go, right, I'll get Maureen these.
Yeah.
So she has like some fucking swag shoes.
sweet, yeah.
Nice New Balance, Adidas, like limited edition ones. Air Max ones and all, and she'll come down in some silvery slip-on thing, and I'm
Yeah.
like, get the fuck out of here, get out of here.
Yeah.
It's not the 40s. Get a pair of Nike Air Max. Didn't spend fucking 120 quid on it, you know.
Yeah.
So I will step in there. Everything else, but that's how I dress. Tramp shoes are nice.
Yeah.
And
But I think
she could at least come up to that standard.
But you get to the point where, to a degree, I think, like, when you're younger, you're peacocking a bit. You know what I mean? You're trying to be, you know, look good, so people are like, oh, he's sexy. Whereas once you're kind of married and you're sort of, as long as you're comfortable and you're a good person, you know, I think that's the thing. But like, she sometimes will say things to me, like, I'll be wearing something that I'm feeling good about. I'm like, and she'll be like, you know, I want to look like I'm actually out with you, not out caring for you. And I'll be like, oh wow, that's it. You know, offense. But she goes, you do look a wee bit. You know, special anyway at the best of times. Like, I didn't realise that. Thanks for saying. And she'd be like, look,
You're wearing like a Mickey Mouse sweatshirt.
yeah, and the ears as well. Like, let's go to a shop. Can I have an ice cream?
With your crazy eyes and
Yeah.
your fucking in your smart car.
Unbelievable. Well, I mean, that's going to be it. Like, we were chatting before we recorded. I want to get a smart car, and I mean, that's something. I think I like to scoot
That
about.
is so the far end of the spectrum of what you should have. Like,
But like,
you have a Jeep.
But again, this is the thing, isn't it? Whenever you get older, everybody just wants something else. So once you think you're like, I get the point where I think I'm happy. I've been happy for years. I'm like, this is grand. Whereas it's always like it's never. It'll be Catherine will be like, we need to get the front door fixed, and I'm like, what do you mean? And then you'll look the front door and I'll tape it shut and be like, I probably could do the new door, you know, things like that. She'll be like, we need a new car, and I'll be like, well, no, we don't. She'll be like, there's no windscreen. Okay, maybe well. So she's like,
You're stopping it with your feet.
the last thing I had, like the last part of, if you will, my old life was my wee Fiesta.
My
And,
own personality.
You know, when I used to be me, I had my wee Fiesta, and she's like, well, get rid of that and get something a bit bigger for the kids and all. I'm like, but what happens if I need to nip out and get bananas or something? You know, I don't want to be flipping, going down trying to park a big fucking. So then I said, I'm just going to get a Hummer. Or a Hummer. Oh, it's subliminal.
It's all coming out.
I'm gonna get a smart car. And she was like, well, so she goes,
What a slip. What a slip.
So she goes to me, where are you going to
You're a
park it?
G-Wagon. Sorry, I mean a skateboard.
But she goes, where are you going to park it? And I said, I can just lift it into the hall. And she said, "You can't." I'll be grand, just stick it under the stairs. And then anytime I need to scoot, boop, boop, out I go. Get my bananas, be happy
I feel like
days.
if you got a smart car, you pull up in Hollywood or wherever,
Yeah.
and you're like, park it, and you get out and you see someone, you're like, fuck, what's the crack? Maybe you put your elbow on it,
I know,
put your elbow
thing is-
straight through the roof. Ah, for fuck's sake.
I think of this one here, I think that's a problem. Like,
I just feel like, you know, I mean, I'd be the same. Just as soon as you hit any sort of gradient, you just be like, and you just be rolling back down the hill.
like, you know when kids go out on their bikes and they can't get up the hill? Just me fucking walk up the house with a smart car. Fuck's sake.
Fucking 6 bananas in it.
Yeah, no, just nipped out for a
You open the wee tiny boot. You've got a wee weights belt and a wee chain. You're like, I'll just walk it home.
like Terry Holland.
Just you pull the wee smart car.
Well, you could just like a transformer, just pop your head out the sunroof and walk up. But that's my new goal in life, to have a smart car or a Hummer. You know, either way.
How much is a smart car?
I imagine about 75 quid in my head. Couple of grand maybe.
Dave, for fuck's sake. That's convertible, that one.
I mean, now you're living if you get the convertible.
Yeah. £1,500.
There we go,
I mean,
bingo.
they're for nothing. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, the nice ones are fucking £2,000. Oh, they're with speedy alloy wheels. The Roadster.
I mean, stick a spoiler in the back and I'll tell you what.
It's on eBay.
Yeah, well, you know what? Maybe that's what I'm going to do. I just order one. Not even tell
Full
her.
description. Let's see what you just got under the fucking bonnet, sir. Oh, that's just the guy's just selling wheels.
No, it's build your own. They're like Lego.
I mean, hectic.
You get a part free of the magazine each week.
Yeah, you get to paint it like we Airfix car. Dave, you can't get one of those. I think you're.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I think if you went and seen one and got in
Yeah.
it, you'd be like, well, this is not a great idea.
But I mean, look, a
The
grand.
wee Roadster one looks good. Looks like a Lotus.
There you go. It would be a Lotus to the ground anyway if my big fat holes in it.
It's got the suicide. The doors go up too.
Like,
I'm here. I'm gonna. I'll get you on.
imagine just parking there like, well, I've got Dave and you in a smart car and just go the doors.
Do you ever feel like you'd pull up and you'd be like, you know, oh shit, where's my sunglasses? And they're in the far side, and you go to grab it, the whole car falls on the floor. You have to get out.
You know what? I'll definitely go and test drive one, just at least to see the car salesman's face. and then he'd be like,
What's my for what? A key ring? What
I'd
do
be
you want?
like, no, to go and get bananas. Why does nobody understand this when I'm out in the morning? You
Sometimes I
don't
wake up and I'm like, "Where I fucking can't go about my day till I've had a banana." Bananas give me heartburn. Fuck that.
No, but listen,
One of the few things I eat, and I'm like,
too much. But I mean, that's the goal. Just to have somewhere. even just the spider. You know, you can't get a smart car. You'll see. Go for it.
right.
But I like some. I thought there probably would have been a wee bit there than that, so that's achievable. Very soon.
1,500 quid, like.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm surprised it's so cheap, but then also if they were like second hand, they were like $5,000, I'd be like,
Yeah.
yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Let's hit some questions before we wrap her up here. Loads of fucking questions. Any word in another Limelight comedy night? Well, that's more for me. Listen, of course there'll be more, but it won't be for at least fucking 2 months probably.
Yeah.
Because they'll not do it as soon as they reopen. It'll be about a month after that probably. So there might be a Christmas special or something. We'll get you down, Davey.
Lovely job, boy.
I was excited there for a minute because there was talk of it going weekly, but then you just remember that like you can't sustain that in Belfast.
Yeah. No, it's hard. Like.
It's hard to fuck. It will be this, and do you know what? This one is actually called the General Banter Comedy Club, so it'll just be the main boys. I'm not branching out at all.
Yeah, and now you've got a feminist.
Yeah,
That can
I've got
come
a
on
feminist
anyway,
here
so we're
who's
all right.
fucking, you know, jizzing a load of fucking bitches.
I'm building an army. An army of bitches to look after me when I'm old and crippled.
Yeah, because that's their job. Receptionist or nurse, that's it. Fuck's sake. Thoughts on Donald Trump being apparently cured of COVID in the space of 3 days? Conspiracy? Yeah, there's no fucking way he had it.
Nah.
There's no way it's
Because if you
real.
look at him, he's the sort of guy that should succumb to it very quickly.
Yeah.
You know, he's... but no, he's seen how it worked for Boris, and then Boris balls it up. So
course.
he's gone, yeah.
There's no way he had it. He was trying to be like, I'm one of you guys. I've got COVID. Trying to raise the morale here. You'll get over it too. And he's just like fucking getting sucked in a fucking hospital somewhere.
Yeah, but then he just comes home with the Hollywood movie trailer.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is back.
But they say Hollywood. There was some other like Nazi propaganda movie that they played side by side, and they were like, "This is exactly the same." Like the fucking thing coming in. Did you see him dancing like YMCA?
Yeah, oh, he's ridiculous.
He's doing this. Do you see it?
Yeah.
The weird fucking like the who does that? Ric Flair.
Yeah, standing and profiling.
Fucking weirdo.
I mean, Ric Flair, he could be a good shout to the next president. He's an
I'd
old
love that.
decrepit bastard himself.
Woo!
Oh.
What are you both retraining as now that Arlene's fucked yous? I don't. I do a lot of different things anyway. So
Yeah, you know what? I sort of think that yes, I get why people would be annoyed at that, but also if you have to put food in the table, if you need to buy bananas and you can't get money otherwise, you take another job just in the meantime. Like, it's not forever. You know what I mean?
You know how many? This is what cracks me up. If you were legit making a good living and like providing for yourself and your family as an artist,
Yeah.
you do need a bit of help in the meantime. But you can't be like, you know, can someone pay my bills because I do fucking ballet at the weekend?
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
Yeah.
were you really,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, you could argue fucking, you know, I put on comedy nights, you put on comedy nights, people are getting paid from that. You know, it's probably affecting their fucking tax bills.
Yeah.
There is a small economy there around comedy.
Yeah.
You could argue that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
It's every. You know,
does everyone
everything.
need a fucking comedian?
Yeah.
Sometimes yes, but like,
Yeah, but I just think too.
you can do it in so many ways.
to some extent, like, because I work as well, you know what I mean, and that's I was thinking of jacking in the job before all of this happened, and I'm glad I didn't now. But I'm just relieved of that. But at the same time too, I think, you know, I would understand that yes, you can still be a comedian per se, but then you can go back to it. It's not like if you take another
But
job,
you can do,
you know,
you can fucking. I mean, every cunt has a phone. You could do something.
Yeah.
You could tweet funny things. You could do short funny videos. You could do fucking reels. You could do podcasts.
Yeah.
You do all those anyway.
because that's the thing.
So
I
you
think,
take stand up out of the picture. You're like, well,
Yeah.
am I losing a few £100 a month? Really? You know, it's like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
because that was the thing. I think whenever I sort of accepted that we're not going to have comedy, we're not going to have stand up, we're not going to have the clubs to run. It's like, well, what else can I do in lockdown that's going to, you know, even set me up for stuff
OnlyFans?
again? So I've been doing that. You know, I've been wanking off in a smart car, and people are loving it. And no, as well as that, like I've been writing more and
Do you
putting
know
a bit more effort
have
into
you
the
heard of
podcast.
straight bears? Remember I brought this up?
Yeah, I mean,
Now,
this is the space, Colin. We should start up our own.
yeah, there's plenty of room in this studio, but I honestly like I'd click. I mean, this is your suggested page for you. Like, I click in, and there was like, like my suggested page is watches, Mercedes AMG cars, girls with greasy fat holes, and then like gym related stuff. You
Yeah.
know, so there'd be like guys doing like deadlifts, and
Yeah.
then I was scrolling down. It was like this guy standing in the street, and then I fucking looked into that. It was a guy who was like a strong man from like Estonia or something, but it was kind of gay vibes. You know, like he'd be in the middle of the street in just a pair of like very tight trunks, and you could see the vein on his cock, and he's just like, you're like this here.
Yeah.
And then from that, I was just scrolling, and there was just like, these are a lot of burly dudes. You know,
Yeah.
not even that great a shape, just dudes in like Speedos. And then one guy had his kid there and all. And then I clicked, I was like, what the fuck is this? Click in. So, whatever his job was, load of followers, 80,000 followers, straight bear. And I was like, see, when you're a bear and you're a gay guy, you're like, oh, this guy's a gay bear. He's a bear. That's
Yeah.
a thing. See, when you say straight bear,
Yeah.
fat cunt.
Yeah, true. But you're the great,
Regular fat cunt.
but you're the great white buffalo for all the other the bear hunters. Like, oh, I got a straight one. Fucking hell,
got a
the
straight
mythical
bear.
beast, the Bigfoot in the jungle. You know?
Buck the straight bear, or as I call it, fat regular strong guy.
Yeah, but I mean, listen, that's a niche. Find a niche in the market. If you're like, I don't have a lot going for me here, but
Well, that's what
take a kid off, boom.
that's what body image is nowadays. You find a niche and you call yourself that, and you identify as that.
True.
There's a girl who I'd seen online. She was like, "Oh, I'm this plus size or like body positive something." I forget her name. And she, in one point, she looked really good.
Yeah.
And now she's trying to fit in more with the plus size girls.
Yeah.
And she just turned into a fat cunt. But she's like, "I'm so confident," and you're like, "You did look better. Let's
Yeah.
let's not fuck about
Yeah.
here." But you've fallen into like a category now, and now
Yeah.
you have a home.
Because that was it. Like,
Fat bitch.
you have that degree too, but then sometimes, like, if for example, like I went to the asthma clinic a few months back, and they were like, "Yeah, but definitely
Only for the pussy, of
but,
course.
but definitely lose a bit of weight, please. You know, definitely do
Yeah.
for your heart and all." And I was like, all right, okay, I'll try. Can I have my inhaler now? Because I'm about to pop.
I mean, you can be overweight, very confident, fully happy, not even thinking about it, but without a doubt, you'd be healthier if you weren't as fat.
Yeah, true.
And that's across the board.
Yes, as confident as you want to be. Yeah, you're still going to die earlier. You know?
Yeah, tell that to Adele.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm telling her, but
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, Adele's looking right and healthy now.
Adele would have got rid before.
I know.
The whole way across the scale should have got
Yeah,
rid.
yeah, she's a pretty girl.
Which, nice kind hand job off her. All right, darling.
Absolutely.
That's more Disney. That's more.
Yeah. All right, darling. I mean, what a double act, Bocelli and Adele.
And Dizzy.
I mean, that's the collab we want to see. I could do it over Zoom as well.
Yeah.
You know,
And he like shout, when he's about to drop his verse, he's like, Dizzy!
Dizzy Bear, like this, Adele. Oh, look at Andrea.
Andre's just fucking in the corner like Blair Witch. Andy!
Oh dear. Speaking of that, you reminded me of
Everyone just calls him Andy.
Blair Witch. Do you ever watch it? There used to be a thing on Sky One called Porn Crackers, and it was just like the best porn party names ever. Obviously, the Blair Witch was the Burr Bitch project.
Did they get a full show out of this?
Yeah, it was like a full half hour. If you can find it, it's worth watching. But they were like, "What's the number one porn party name ever?" And I heard
So
it.
excited.
Shit myself. They go. And like the big countdown, and so you've got Shaving Ryan's Privates, Burr Bitch Project, all this. Number 1, Men in Black, Men. 10 out of 10.
Classic. Oh, right.
And I tell you what, see how we think about in the Men in Black, a lot different in this one.
It only
But like
works.
it's
Just slide with me.
oh,
Which of you is the train and which of you is the tunnel? Asking for a mate.
I mean, listen, if we're doing the straight bears thing, we can switch it up.
Yeah.
It's fair.
I mean, no matter what scenario I'm in a relationship, I'd like to be doing the fucking.
Yeah, you know what? I do want to actually talk about. I mean, this wasn't on the agenda before we started, but you know, why nowadays they have the thing, oh, I'm a top or I'm a bottom. Whatever
Yeah.
happened to days of just being a wee bit of both, just taking it in turns.
Yeah.
It seems odd. There's like, nah, I only do this. That's it. That's the deal.
There's like strict, like a line in the sand where people are just like, no,
Yeah.
I'm not that fucking gay.
Exactly. But my granny would say to me, like, plenty of ways to skin a cat, so I
Yeah.
take that into the bedroom as well, mix it up a bit.
Plenty of ways to skin a cat. Isn't that right, Graham? Fucking. Have you heard John Zoo's Cali Cave 2.0?
No, I have not. But oh dear.
Just an ad for Chromebook, mate, if you want to chill out for a couple minutes.
There we go.
Yep.
So is this some new John Zoo for us all?
Must
Or?
be, yeah.
I'll tell you what, it's a good shot.
Someone had been talking to him online and they were like, man, you should get on Geddis's podcast.
And is he?
I wouldn't be against it.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the thing. Like, people think because you've got a podcast, this isn't like an interview podcast.
Yeah.
I would be terrible at that. I get on people I know I can have a bit of a vibe with, bit of funniness, comedians. I've had like a couple of MMA fighters on. I think I scraped through those okay. Because I've
They were good.
a slight interest in fighting.
Yeah.
But I feel like, of course, Big John Zoo can come on.
Yeah.
But it would be very much, me going like,
Johnny.
rap's cool, isn't it?
Yeah. Aye.
Even though I'm a big hip hop fan, but
Yeah.
like, I'll get him on. He'd probably be like, here, smoke this joint, and then I'll fucking be in hospital for 3 days.
I mean, I like a video already.
Video's tight, tits.
I mean, he's changed his voice a bit.
I don't think that's him. Lambo.
I mean, where's this guy from? Like Antrim Road or something?
Rathcoole. I'm not joking, I think he's from Rathcoole.
He's doing alright for himself.
He took Charlie Sloth for a pasty bap once.
He
I've
did.
talked about it numerous times. I must find the video. There you go, mate. And Charlie Sloth, like, what's in this, bruv? It's fucking pink.
But see,
He goes, don't know, mate. It's pasty bap. Fucking hate it.
what's this guy called? Somebody 2.0?
The song's called Cali Cave.
Oh, right, okay, because there was a guy in Tenerife, an MC at a bar, and he was called Somebody 2.0 and Dylan 2.0, right? And true story, right? If you can find him online, there's a guy who does a bit of everything, so he'll sing in a bar, so he'll be all bum ba bum ba and then he'll be like, oh Monday, so he can sing and he can rap, he can do it all. Dylan 2.0, but apparently he used to just be Dylan, but then he had a motorbike accident and lost a leg and got a robotic leg, one of those flippers put on that your man had marked his wife, one of those on, and then
Little ting ting.
and then he came back. And then he came back and he's like, "No, I'm not Dylan anymore. Dylan 2.0."
So, should be done 0.5.
Yo, check. See if you can find him after this. But
Hold on, drop this fucking piece of fire. Look at her fake tails.
I mean, I don't know if they're fake, Colin.
What?
I don't know if they're fake. I could just be.
Whatever.
Tell you what, he's in a bit of shape now.
Huh?
He's lost a bit of weight. He's
He's been fucking smoking himself skinny. What I will say about the only rapper from Northern Ireland who you're not fucking scundered listening to.
Still building the biggest split with the smallest bit of tobacco. Big John, always up in the
Big John, love that.
Some fucking gaff, sir.
Yeah, pass me a pack of that icy and a pack of that Studio 54 and a pack of that caramel apple.
You know who he sounds exactly like.
It's a smart.
You know, Glenn Ross, the strongman. If you ever listen to the way he speaks, exactly same as that.
Yeah. Looks like him.
Yeah.
He's giving us a swift rundown of all his product in the shop there. Hey, what, John? Say if you can get your hands on, what was it, Death Bubba? Someone hooked me up with one
Death
time.
Bubba?
Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
You know, the guy that I was getting the weed off before he'd be like, "Here, take a bit of this," and it would put you in a fucking coma. I wasn't into that. I was like, let me feel silly, let me feel loose.
Yeah.
This other stuff was like, hey, you terminally ill, bro, get that into you. You know what I mean? Big Johnny, Death Bubba, sticking a triple fucking vacuum pack and send it over.
So what is this filmed in Rathcoole, is it?
Bounce back in the Lambo.
I know, just me in the smart car.
If bounce back in the fucking smart car roadster, right?
No, it's good to see old Johnny doing well.
With a pack of bananas. Two fucking just squeezing them till they burn.
Oh dear.
That is an absolute screamer, but
Is that?
dude's got a handbag. Never say nothing.
Yeah, that's a style now, isn't it? Boys with handbags, fair play them.
Yeah, I mean, if you smoke a pile of fucking ganj, it's probably full of weed. It's alright.
And a wee DS, keep you entertained.
I mean, you got some real hot chicks there, and then you just got some fucking straight up fellas.
See what
you know what I mean? Like, you got all these greased up hot chicks, couple of fucking Lambos, and then just Brian and fucking Stevie.
But I mean, that does look an awful lot like what you see at the bonfires. You know, just off to the left, there's a big pyre just going up. Fuck the tags.
I can't do this podcast. It was fucking Pope yesterday with Shane. Did you hear about that? Some guy in Ballymena picked up the Tano in Tesco's and just went,
heard that,
fuck a Pope.
But here, the thing about that, again, like me being a feminist,
Yeah.
I'm a half a Jaffa, so I can get away with it too. You know, hate the Huns as well. Don't worry.
They're usually worse, aren't they? You know, like McCann.
I see my like that's true. My granda, he wouldn't have my mum. He's like, nah, fucking, you're not getting married to her. My dad was like, but ammo, and he's like, nah, and then obviously he did, and he's and my grand's dead, so my mum won. You know, big up the Pope.
Big up the Pope. Shout out the Pope. Can you ask him about the famous Dan Murph? I feel like I'm all famous office Christmas party where Buckfast and with the Buckfast and decimated Christmas tree featuring the ex-punk rocker manager.
Oh right, yeah. Well, that's just what happened when I was working. Do you ever just in your head think something's going to be really funny, but in reality it's not? I thought I know
a lot of times when I do stand-up material.
I was in an office party and I had an old manager who I thought, you know, we got on all right. He could take a bit of banter. So I was blitz, had a bottle of Buckfast in me by this point and thought, what prank can we do to him? So me and a couple other lads were like, right, we'll just look around, like what could we do? Saw a Christmas tree. We're like, fuck, stick that in his desk. So went and got the Christmas tree. It was all plugged into lights. Ended up pulling the sockets out the wall. Christmas tree in the desk. It was a big tree. Knocked all the roof tiles down everywhere, and just left the Christmas tree like on his desk. That was great crack. Wiped the board and wrote "Happy Christmas, Kelly" on it, and
wanker.
I was grand. And then next day, someone came in and goes, "Oh, someone's decimated his desk." I was like, fuck, because at this point I'm hungover, I can't even remember what I did. And they're like, and they wiped all the figures off a board, all important figures. I was like, bollocks, definitely. And they threw Chinese in his desk. And then at this point I was like, nah, I wouldn't waste the Chinese. No way would I have done that. Like, and then apparently I think someone came in afterwards and just bucked the Chinese over the desk and beer and stuff. But I took the hit for it like a champion and got Christmas parties banned. So I mean, hey, the good
Ruined
old days.
Christmas forever.
Yeah, fuck it. Yeah.
Final question. I think I'll see what's on Instagram. But when's the heavyweight cup making a return?
I mean, I think it isn't, is it? You know, I think we're just doing our own thing.
No
like,
chance,
yeah,
to be honest with you.
Yeah, so
Although I'm training like a lot.
Like
Once
a
my back's fixed, I've been training a lot, but I haven't really been focusing on weight.
yeah,
Now
just
that
getting that glute fixed.
Now that my glutes fixed, I'm enjoying a lot. You see, I was too tied into like big lifts and whatever, and
Yeah.
I've completely put that aside. And there's a lot of kettlebells. There's a lot of just range of motion,
Yeah.
explosive type stuff going on. Like I'll do a lot of fucking lunges.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A lot of shit like that. A lot of single leg deadlift stuff like that to really pop that glute.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I feel good. I feel springy in my feet.
See, that's what you want to do.
Instead of like
It's that.
lifting, doing big
Yeah.
deads and walking around like sore. So
No, I'm
just enjoying myself for the minute.
I took a wee bit of a siesta with the new child coming along, so I need to put that now the routine set, get back into things again, and my coach will be on me.
Who's your coach?
John Joe Flood.
got a question for him?
Oh, go ahead. What's he saying? Here we go. See if he's telling me.
He's
what-
Revive, is he?
Yes.
You boys both have those thick thighs that save lives, but I'd like to know who would win an airbag challenge first to 100 cals.
I mean, you it's your special subject. I'd say you're very good in the airbag.
100 cals,
It's
tight
tough.
enough. Like,
what was it? 30 we tried, and by the time you do that, you're punctured.
yeah. What I would do is I would take off, because I mean I've done a lot of workouts and I keep it above 500 fucking watts or whatever.
Yeah.
I can comfortably set it about 700. So I
Yeah.
would just glide, keep an eye on your clock,
Yeah,
and
go
then
for
just
it.
fucking just
Flatten them.
gun
man.
it at the
Yeah.
last like 30. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I own one, so that's
Yeah,
a cheat too.
true. But I mean, look, we could give it a go sometime. Maybe once I'm not on the heart attack spectrum at the minute, but then get a couple of pounds off first.
How do you and Dave know each other?
I mean, that's a weird.
Have a fucking guess.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
he actually was a salesman at the smart car warehouse. That's how we bumped into each other.
Welcome to the Smart Car Warehouse. I've just taken them out of my pocket. There you go. Have you ever watched Pride and Pinion watch reviews on YouTube? Maddest mixture of accents I've ever heard. Yeah, I mean, I would probably get round to that guy's shop if I could decide what nice watch I wanted to buy, but instead I'll buy 50 Seiko watches
Yeah,
at a
that's it.
mid-range price.
See, I've asked Santa Claus for a new Fitbit.
Oh, yeah?
Christmas. I just as long as my heart rate's steady, I'm happy enough. Like.
Does it make you paranoid at all just watching that all day?
No, it's good because it tells me how much I sleep and all, which is
Okay.
important. So
What about
yeah.
a whoop strap?
See, I've seen that there's a lot of hype with them, but I think people are sort of saying they're a bit shitter in a Fitbit.
Ooh,
Again, so yeah, don't know.
dear.
Unless we want to give me one, which of course,
Yeah.
I take it and promote it, and I'm totally selfless that way.
Let's hear Davy's side of the boy time breakup.
Yeah, I think we covered that, didn't we?
Yeah,
really.
I covered it with
Yeah.
Shane yesterday, and he goes, "It's so boring
Yeah,
and normal that it's not
Yeah.
even worth talking about."
Look, well, I
also,
think-
it's not. It's also like
yeah.
you can do it again. I'm sure.
I could just feel like I wanted to, I was putting all the funniness into the podcast, and I thought, why not put that into my own, So let him go and talk about Nambari or whatever it is he does, and I'll just be
Can
great.
I say something rude? I
absolutely.
like your brand a lot better than his.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Sly Guy podcast out every Thursday.
Yeah, good graphics.
I don't know. Yeah.
It's got a good name. Good vibes about it.
Thank you. Cheers. Check that out on a Thursday.
Yeah.
I don't even know what day it's out. You actually changed that, so yeah, it's a Thursday.
Hello lads, love the podcast. Now I've been living in Prague.
Oh shit.
Prague, and I've got the old COVID. Oh dear, it's robbed me of my taste buds. Any of you lads know when I'll be able to get them back? I watched a documentary once. It was Chef's Table, and the guy had mouth cancer, and he said he got radiotherapy on like the side of his face, and he couldn't taste anything, and he'd be cooking every day and getting people to taste stuff, and then he said he would just be taking like pinches of salt and putting them on his tongue every day, just like to see if it worked. See if they come back yet, and
did it?
eventually he would, he would throw up, but he died of a heart attack. But it's all good.
Yeah.
I don't know. You would just have to keep testing.
What
it,
I would say, if you live in Prague, right, take yourself to the night gym. Say I sent you and see what happens.
Night gym,
The night gym. It's wee disco tech.
medieval theme.
Yeah, work it out. Go have a nice time in the night gym. You burn calories, that's for sure.
Oh,
Oh, why?
fuck.
No, none at all. It's just dancing.
Sex dance. Ask him whatever. Oh, this is the final question from Sheen Todd. Weird name. Ask him whatever happened to his gold guy character.
Oh, the gold guy character. That was, it was probably one of the worst thought out stag outfits yet. On my stag do, they just bought me all this gold shit, skin tight gold shit from China, and I don't know what it was, but it was ridiculous. Have you seen what it looked like in that? Let me find you a photo of this gold guy.
I'm excited though.
I mean, it wasn't what you would feel comfortable going out in. You know, it's definitely, you know, made me want to kill myself a bit. But where is it here? The gold guy.
I will say this, guys. There's a lot of questions have come in. I'm not going to be able to get through all of them.
Right. Where
Thank you
is
for your
this?
questions, though. I had to sort of pick and choose. While you look up that picture, we'll do this last question: who wins in a fight to the death between you two, and how does the winner win?
I mean, it's like anything. It's like boxing. It could take a different mood and a different day. But
I would say a lot of factors going on.
yeah,
You know, who's got the bigger gas tank, who's stronger, who could land a big dig first.
but it's like heavyweight boxing, isn't it? Like you look at Pulev
Who's
and White.
better on the floor?
You know,
Me.
well, yeah, you'd be better on the floor. I'd be better in the bed, bro.
aggressively chatting up your boy mates. Hey, fucking get you in the bed, kid. Fucking rack that out.
Well, let me see.
I used to do material about being in town, and I didn't realize it was Pride. And I was like, "What's going on here?" And these two guys were like shouting, and they're like, "He's going out now." And the two couples, like four fellas, like,
Yeah.
walking in the opposite direction. And they're like, he's not hanging about. No, fuck's sake. And they were going back and forth. Stay out. No, don't be gay. And then the other one goes something like, he's like, I'm going to take him home and all. And the other one's like, stop it, you. And then this guy, this is an actual line the guy said, he goes, I'm going to fucking be wearing him like an oven mitt. And I'm like, outside of Nero going,
All right.
no.
Yeah, we made
No.
that.
Did they buy that or did you just borrow all that from our butler?
No, I mean, it would have worked both ways, but they bought that, and it all came from China, and that's why it's like a quadruple XL t-shirt.
You got an eyebrow raised from Ireland, that impression.
Thank you.
Do it again.
China.
If I could do a Trump impression, it'd be class. Can't do it.
Just grab girls by their gooch and you'll be grand. Here, don't you see my Donald Trump impression?
I could do the fucking Ric Flair dance now.
Woo! Yeah.
Just grab a bit. I can't do it. How do you do it?
What? I mean, unless, of course,
China.
it's, the only thing is you go from being camp, but then you have to remember he's from New York the whole time too. So you could always go down this road, but then you got to remember he's from fucking New York as well, and add a little bit of that.
Bit of pussy.
Melania.
She hates him. It's class, isn't it?
Did you see a thing?
She's like, what am I doing here? I'd rather be in a fucking chained to a radiator in the Ukraine.
Did you see the clip of like a leaked phone call of hers?
Yeah.
That was so great. Fuck the kids. I'm sick of doing all this shit. And you're like, fair play to you, Melania. You know, it's like it would be so shit.
Everyone has their problems.
Yeah,
Dave. You gotta, you know.
No, but I mean,
I pray someday I get stabbed by men on a bicycle.
come to Belfast, love. Yeah. But here, listen. I want to make a serious message here, lads. Fucking stop stabbing people, please.
And by the way, I'm going to walk through Belfast city centre today, and if I see any fucking cunt on a bicycle, I'm going to fucking kick the wheels out and knock his bollocks in. Even if you're on a fucking Coca-Cola
Listen,
free bike.
That's what we need to do. We need to raise. If you see anyone on a bike, they're a suspect. So take them down, beat the fuck out of them.
Do you remember when the Coke bikes came out?
What?
The Coke bikes?
All right, Coca-Cola
And they were
bikes.
like on Botanic. I saw a black guy, not important, running
Very fast.
up the road, and he got to the bikes, and there's about 10 of them in a row, and he went and checked all of them to see if one was loose, and then just sprinted on. And I'm like, if you're in that much of a hurry, you just wasted fucking 30 seconds trying to see which Coke bike was free.
But I mean, he probably has just fast switch, so after a while he'd need, the bike.
Yeah.
PE.
That has brought us to the end of the podcast, guys. We're out of questions. Let's just want to hang about. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So listen to Dave's podcast. It's called Sly Guy. And if you want to troll the archives of the Boytown podcast,
Don't. It's a load of shit. You're wasting your time. Listen, get rid of the Deadwood. Listen to my podcast. All good.
Deadwood. What a good name for a podcast.
The Deadwood
Podcast. Right, that's it, guys. We're wrapping it up. This has been put out on a Tuesday, apparently. And we'll be back on Thursday or something with more stuff or whatever. And if you want bonus stuff, get on the Patreon. Do you have a Patreon?
I do, aye.
Who fucking doesn't? You know what I mean? I might actually put out specials on OnlyFans for the crowd.
But I just do straight Burr stuff over there as well. So if you want to see,
Yeah.
basically, if you want to just see me with a gaped hole on the Patreon,
He comes in,
check
it's
it
like
out.
all bondage gear, assless chaps, looks real gay, but then fucks a fleshlight.
That's it. Oh, before we go, have I ever told you a story about my mate Mac and his flashlight? Here, he'll love this, right? He got one for his birthday.
Let me
right?
get some gangster in the background.
He got a flashlight for his birthday, bit of crack, obviously, as you do.
Bit of
when you're
crack,
20
in a
young.
10, literally.
So he was in uni. Oh,
My sauce.
appropriate. He was in uni at the time. When he came home, he brought the flashlight with him and just stuck it in the wardrobe, you know, out of sight, out of mind or whatever. And his dad says his mum one day, he goes, "Here, Linda, I need to go out the shed here. Look, do you have a torch?" And he goes, "I think I saw one in Paul's wardrobe." So apparently the two of them went out with this flashlight and fuck's wrong with this thing, and then turned around, it was just a full fanny. She's like, "What the fuck's this?" And the dad knew exactly what it was. He goes, that's a flashlight.
That,
So-
what what are the chances of that? That sounds like a fake story.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? As if also
But to make it more awkward, rather than just putting it back and saying nothing, she put it in his bed with a post-it note. "Can we have a chat about this, please?" And he's like 24 at the time. And like, "My friends bought it for me."
we
and
have a chat about this.
Yeah.
You fucking stick me.
Yeah.
Let me stick my dick in you. I'm fucking here.
my friends bought it for me as a joke. He goes, "Well, why is it full of guff then?"
You're supposed to rinse it out, you fucking pig.
Shampoo, swear. Doesn't smell like shampoo, you dirty bastard.
Oh, I mean,
So yeah.
you're never buying it for a joke. Like, you know, like your mate's buying, like, some crack and all, I'll keep that in the office. Will you fuck? Had a great time, lads. Cheers for coming round. Dick
know.
straight in it.
But I mean, whoever, I'd love to be in the Dragon's Den for that. He goes, "Well, I've got a vagina, but it's a torch." And he,
Yeah.
"But does it do both?"
Hi guys, I'm looking £100,000. I've got a muff in a cup.
And then Paphitis is like, "I'm in."
Oh, man.
Deborah Means like,
You know,
is it
they're
like-
all fucking like, real, you know, like cavemen. They're like,
yeah.
I've got a fanny at home and doesn't smell like this. And then they try and pick holes in it. If I was to leave 2-3 loads inside that and leave my fucking briefcase, what fucking use is it then? I'm out.
And then he's like, "I'll just take the investment myself and take it elsewhere." You know, what a great combo, torch and vanny.
Volley.
What do you have? I've got an umbrella with a dick in the top of it.
There's such shame around. You're like, "Can we have a chat about this fucking fanny in a cup?"
Yeah.
And meanwhile, you know, her drawer looks like a fucking like Men in Black when the wall turns around. Just fucking weapons all over the place.
Fucking the Alex Higgins special. Still doing the end of the sticker.
The hurricane skull.
What a prank. I mean, listen, if the estate of Alex Higgins are listening to the podcast, let's collab. The Hurricane 2020.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh my god. Shout out. I'm getting out of here. I need a piss. Thanks for joining me today, Dave. It's
You're
great.
welcome.
Had a
It's good
great
fun.
time. We'll do it again sometime.
Absolutely.
All the guys need to do more podcasts, don't they?
100%.
We do. Great note to end on. See you later, guys. Take it easy. With sweaty ears.